Do you ever have difficulty blending your eyeshadow, and when you try to blend your eyeshadow it ends up looking patchy? Well, in this video I'll show you how to avoid patchy eyeshadow when blending and how to get a flawless eyeshadow look. So let's get into it. So before you apply any eyeshadow, it's always important for you to start with a clean canvas. So if you apply eyeshadow on oily eyelids, then your eyeshadow will appear patchy because it's really hard to blend eyeshadow on oils. So to avoid this, you always want to use an eyeshadow base such as like the P. Louise eyeshadow base or Paint Pot by MAC Cosmetics. So an eyeshadow base just helps to hold your eyeshadow in place. It gives your eyelids a really nice canvas to apply the eyeshadow, making it very easy to blend. These eyeshadows dry down matte, so you don't have to set them with powder, as powder sometimes takes away from the pigmentation of the eyeshadows. However, if you do use a powder, you want to use a translucent setting powder to set the eyelids, such as like the Milani translucent setting powder or the Mercier translucent setting powder, as those are sheer and they don't add additional coverage onto the eyelids, keeping it very neutral. You want to avoid using liquid concealers to prime the eyelids, as they tend to be really oily, which will create a really patchy eyeshadow look. So you always want to make sure that you're using brushes that are good quality and up to par. A common mistake we tend to make sometimes is using the sponge tips that come with the eyeshadow palettes to blend out the eyeshadows. Using these will make blending eyeshadow extremely difficult, and it's just going to cause your eyeshadow to come out patchy because it really doesn't give you enough control when you're blending the eyeshadow. So instead you want to opt for freshly washed, soft, fluffy blending brushes to blend out your eyeshadow. This will make eyeshadow blending much smoother and seamless. I would recommend getting the Morphe M506 brush for smaller eyelids and the Morphe M441 brush for bigger eyelids. So to start applying your eyeshadow, you want to select a transition color first that works really well for your skin tone. You don't want to use a color that's too dark because it won't transition seamlessly. So you want to pick up that shade and you want to apply the eyeshadow in circular windshield wiper motion all over the crease of the lids to create that transition between the different eyeshadows. So we're using this shade just to kind of set that crease area so you don't get those wrinkles around the eyeshadow, and that's why you want to use one that is closer to your skin color so it shows that it's a natural transition. So next you want to add some depth so that you can create that transition from this lighter shade to a darker shade. So to do this, you want to select a shade that is darker than the transition color, preferably a black or a dark brown eyeshadow shade if you're doing a smoky eye, but if not, you can just take a shade that is darker so that you can have that nice transition. So taking another clean M506 brush, you want to dip the brush in that shade and always dust off the excess to make sure that you're not going in with too much at once. This will help blend your eyeshadow better and prevent it from appearing patchy or blotchy. So because we've already placed that first shade on there, applying this second shade gives you a better blend, and that first shade will prevent this shade from appearing patchy because it's nice and smooth. So after applying that darker color, you want to go back in with the brush that you used for the first shade to blend those two shadows together. Another thing that can contribute to patchy eyeshadow is using brushes with previous eyeshadows on them, especially cream eyeshadows. It's important to remove any remaining makeup from the bristles of your eyeshadow brushes before going in with even more eyeshadow. I like to use a Neutrogena wipe to clean the brush, and I like to rub it on a paper towel to dry it out. Then I go in and dip into a different eyeshadow. This will ensure that you're not using old and dried up eyeshadow to blend out your eyeshadows, essentially preventing blotchy and patchy eyeshadow. After applying eyeshadow, adding a winged eyeliner really helps to close in the eyeshadow look. That's why this video right here is so important, because I show you a simple and easy way to draw that perfect winged eyeliner in less than 4 minutes.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's